Today we are going to look at Rolling Realms, a lightweight roll and write game. We picked this game up while we were packing to move looking for games that did not take up much space as most of our things were in boxes, and this fit the bill. This game was created by Jamie, and he created this game at the start of the pandemic to be infinitely scalable to play with as many people as he needed and very video conference friendly. The hard copy game that you can purchase has enough materials for 6 people, but multiple copies can be combined to play with any number of players, and playtime's about 30 minutes.
Rolling Realms is an easy to set up game. Each person gets one color set of cards, a dry erase marker, and a wipe. Get out the dice, and you are just about ready to roll. The game comes with 2 large D6 dice, making it easier for all players. This was a purposeful design element as the game was created with easy virtual play in mind. In each player's card deck, there will be 2 cards that consist of their tracking cards and then 11 realm cards. Once players have their 2 tracking cards out, the other cards can be set aside. Gameplay consists of 3 rounds, each round having 9 turns. At the start of a round, a player will shuffle their realm cards and randomly draw 3. The other players then find the matching 3 realms out of their deck and place them in front of them. The other realm cards can be set aside at this point. We recommend taking a moment to read the cards and ensure all players have the same understanding of how each card is played and scored before starting the turns, as some cards can be a little ambiguous.
When ready, the starting player will roll both dice, and all the players will record those numbers on their score tracker. This is the convenient part for virtual play, as only one person needs the dice because all the players will be using the same numbers. Once the dice roll has been recorded by all players, it's time to start activating your realms. Each dice can only be used once unless a card or resource advantage allows otherwise. Each player decides how they want to use each dice. Each realm can only be activated once per roll, meaning that a player cannot use both their dice in one realm. This is the part that requires strategy. This is then repeated 9 times per round. At the end of the round, players will count up their stars and add any unused resources. Each unused resource is worth 0.1 of a star and then recorded on their tracker. Then it's time to erase the realms and the dice rolls, but be sure not to erase your score, and put those realms aside. Then the process repeats 2 more times, each time drawing a new set of 3 realms. After the 3rd round, you will add up all of your scores to determine the winner by who has the most stars. Takedown is just as easy as setting it up. Make sure you have erased all the cards, stack them up in their color group, and put them in the box. Be sure to cap the markers, and it's all put away. The ease of putting this game up makes it a great option for a warm-up or closer to a game night.
I would rate this 3 out of 5 dice. Rolling Realms is a fun, easy to pick up game that offers some replayability. When a new set of cards is laid out for the round, you must quickly figure out what resources, if any, you need and how to acquire them based on the 3 cards, providing different ways of approaching the same card based on the other cards around it. How easy it is to get started and put away makes it a quick game that isn't getting in the way of the fun. This game was designed with remote play in mind. As every set of 3 cards is unique, every card is not, and after a couple of plays of this game, you will have seen all the unique cards the game has to offer. The different mechanics on the cards are fairly simple, and you can find yourself doing the same thing as the person across from you. Since the game is very short and you change the set of cards you are playing 3 times, it doesn't have a lot of room for growing your skill at the game. So those who can identify quick ways to earn stars will ultimately be the winners. Overall, it is a fun game that can be played in many different scenarios. It doesn't have a lot of room to master it, but it can be a fun game if you have some time to kill with friends.
I would rate this game 3 out of 5 dice. This game has a good amount of replayability, as each time you can get a different set of 3 cards that all interact differently. Some rounds are resource gathering heavy, and some rounds almost feel like a worker placement mechanic, requiring a lot of thought as to where you place your numbers. It is easy for beginning board gamers as the rules are simple, but has a few options to grow as players become more comfortable with the game by allowing the use of resources to manipulate the dice. This game doesn't require much interaction between players, and that allows the conversation to be centered around other things, but can also lead to a lack of conversation interaction. The game has a lot of options for future expansions that would add to the complexity that I would personally like to see in the game.
With the average score of 3 out of 5 dice, Rolling Realms overall is a nice roll and write that plays well with 2 players. The unpredictable nature of dice combined with the random realm combinations makes it easily replayable. We recommend adding it to your collection as a nice lightweight game. With easy to set up and take down paired with easy to learn rules, this will become a staple in your house when playing with friends that don't quite share the same love of board games as we do.